One fine August morning in 2018, I started off from Kolkata for a long solo ride on my Enfield Bullet. Over the 1 month period, I travelled about 3,000 kilometers to reach Dehradun and Mussoorie in Uttarakhand. After travelling through Nepal, I visited tourist places like Murshidabad, Darjeeling, Gangtok in Sikkim before crossing the border to Nepal to visit Kathmandu and Pokhara, and finally to reach Dehradun. I'm uploading a set of videos of my travel to all these places in a number of video segments. This is my first video mainly shot on GoPro and on the DSLR whenever I could. Although I have been traveling on my bike for a number of years, the idea of capturing my travels and uploading it on YouTube is recent. I have been thinking about it for a year, and finally I decided to get hold of the GoPro Hero 5. And this is my first time using this device, that is the GoPro, and as you will see in some of the initial videos, I'm trying to get used to the thing stuck onto my helmet. I'm usually a slow rider, not going past 80, even on straight 4-lane highways. And I have a habit of looking at my mirrors, shaking my head. And this has affected the video quality, as you can see in some of the shots. The video bounces from left to right. Apologies, I think I realized it only after a few days. So in this video, I am traveling from Kolkata to reach Murshidabad. Murshidabad has some historical places as it was the capital of the erstwhile Bengal country during the Mughal period. I started from Kolkata on a fine sunny looking day at about 11 am, but it soon started raining, and it took me like 2 hours to get out of the city and reach the outskirts and away from the traffic. Kolkata, like any other city, is full of traffic, although I took a road which seemed less congested on the day. But anyway, it took me about 2 hours to get out of the city itself. It was my first long ride after a long time, and I was making slow progress as I was contemplating my travel, which I planned for at least the next 2 weeks. Once I reached the outskirts, it was like empty roads most of the time, but was disappointed with the 2-lane road system as I had expected a 4-lane highway. By the way, the route to Kolkata from west, that is from the Jharkhand border, it is called the Grand Trunk Road, is one of Asia's oldest, I think, but with well-maintained roads, and I was expecting something like this. But I got a pothole-filled roads with twists and turns, many intersections, railway crossings, bullock carts, cyclists and slow-moving trucks. One good thing is the landscape of West Bengal, which is like flat and mostly rural with agricultural fields on both sides of the road. At some places it felt just like Kerala with trees and banana plantations on the sides of the road. I'm not sure whether it was the time of the year, but all the fields were cultivated and there was not a single field without some or the other agricultural crops like rice. Now on this road there are a lot of population centers, small towns with junctions, making the drive slightly uncomfortable with just 2 lanes, and town centers have even poorer roads. It slows you down in the traffic with the junctions and the trucks. But for every bad side, there is a good one. And intermittently there are plenty of nice views on both sides of the road. Sometimes it feels just like Kerala. Somewhere on this road, Google took me on a diversion from the main NH12 which goes from south to north. I didn't realize it for some time. I was just following Google Maps and automatically got diverted to a road with less traffic. I think it is some sort of a bypass called Ranagat-Krishnanagar bypass. Now I was a bit surprised with the sudden change in road conditions and thought I lost my way. and I tried to blame it on Google Maps at the time. After about 15 minutes on this good road with almost no heavy vehicles and very little private four-wheelers, I just stopped to ask for directions and then thanked Google. Anyway, this good patch of road didn't last long, as all good things have to come to an end. The bypass is about 45 kilometers and it merges with NH12 at Krishnanagar. And it is back to the dusty, pothole-filled, heavy traffic road. Anyhow, after some time, I'm not sure when or where, there appeared out of nowhere a newly constructed 4-lane road with broad dividers in the middle and even hard shoulder at few places. At this point, I think I have covered about 3/4 of the distance from Kolkata to Murshidabad, which I intended as my first stop for the day. Now, Kolkata to Murshidabad is about 210 kilometers. It is a short distance for one day. Plassey is another historical place somewhere on this road, but I could not locate it easily. And I'm not sure if there is anything over there to remind people of the historic importance. By now, it was about 5 PM, and if you see the sky on the horizon, it looks excellent. But the GoPro has not been able to capture the magnanimity of the sky, the clouds and the horizon. And I'm not sure whether the rendering of the video has got the full scope of the beauty. Even though it was a good 4-lane road, there are a number of road works going on. This point, I think, is the construction of a flyover over a railway line. Then there are intermittent population centers, small towns with junctions and traffic. But even though it is congested, in these small towns you can see the provision to expand the road to 4 lanes, with land acquired on both sides. Now my plan was to reach Murshidabad by the end of the day and probably take in some views if possible, even if not to go to the museums or historical places as they might have been closed. I had planned to spend one day at Murshidabad, but my progress was slow and I was not able to complete the entire stretch, even though it was only about 200 kilometers. And I stopped short at a place called Berhampur, which is only about 10 kilometers short of Murshidabad. So this is the second day of my travel, and this is the entry to Murshidabad. And it is a place very close to the Bhagirathi river, or the Hooghly river as it is called. The river is on the left side, and this is some kind of a historical place. I don't remember what it was now. Almost any entrance to the city you will see something like this, a rubbish dump or waste dump. And for a small city like Berhampur and Murshidabad, this rubbish dump looks huge. It was almost like 300 square meters. In Murshidabad, there seems to be a number of brick making units, although I don't think everything is functional. I spent almost the entire day in Murshidabad, as there are several places to visit there. The main ones are the Hazratwari Palace with its museum, Jahan Kosha Cannon meaning destroyer of the world, the Bachewali Top, another cannon, Katara Mosque, Yellow Mosque, House of Jagat Seth, and so on. There are numerous others also. Of all the attractions I visited, the most interesting one for me was the House of Jagat Seth. Jagat Seth was the businessman, banker and moneylender family from Murshidabad during the time of Nawab Sirajud-Dowla. There is a lot of historical significance to this and other places, and you can gain more knowledge about the tales of conspiracy against the Nawab, due to which the Battle of Plassey was lost, leading to the emergence of British East India Company. You can probably spend about a day or two taking in all the views, particularly if you are interested in history. I did take a number of photos and videos of these places, but I am not uploading it all here as some of them has not come out right, as the settings on my DSLR was not perfect. Now I spent almost about 3/4 of a day in Murshidabad, and by evening I was on my way towards north in the direction of Darjeeling. By nightfall I was able to reach Malda, another large city in West Bengal. I could not capture most of this journey as my GoPro battery was completely discharged by evening. Now this is my first ever video on YouTube channel, and in spite of the fact that I had spent a long time, like a month or two, in editing the video after studying video editing concepts and all that, I am not happy with the output. This video is in fact the 4th iteration as I am learning the techniques of video editing. Although this part of my travel was in August 2018, this upload is done in February 2019. I know the video is probably not up to the mark when compared to other travel bloggers on YouTube, but I think I'm definitely improving. Moreover, this is only like 2 days of my travel, and there is more stuff to come, like almost about 2-3 weeks. I would be uploading better videos, especially those travels to Darjeeling, Gangtok in Sikkim, and most interesting places in Nepal, like the ride to Kathmandu Pokhara, and through the entire length of Nepal from its eastern border to its western border. Nepal is an absolutely beautiful place to go for a ride on your bike, and I have good videos of the landscape and my rides. I am expecting some support from you in the form of likes and subscriptions to the video and the channel. As I am improving my video editing skills, I think I should be able to come up with the next video, which is about my ride to Darjeeling in a few days, and you can get notifications if you subscribe and set reminders.